Hello, everyone. How are we all doing today? Welcome to Randomania, your home for all the randomizers and week 12 of Monday Night Enterprise. I am Game Boy F9.
And I am Rex Raoul.
I was about to say, and I'm joined by, I wanted to get right. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you doing today, Game Boy?
I'm doing pretty good. Thank you very much. We've got quite the race coming up. We've got like 24 entrants in the race, so it's going to be a real fun one. And but let's get more specific. What flags are we playing with here tonight?
Well, we've got a lot of interesting flags here. The first one that I'll highlight is the J2 flag, which means if you're used to playing the game on your Super Nintendo from when you were growing up, we're going to have some extra items and extra abilities that were in the Japanese version of the game that were edited out for North America. So that's going to be fun. One thing that might make this a longer run in the randomizer than normal is we have what's called the K2 flag, which means that normally, if you have the K1, which is kind of the default flag for the randomizer, then all of the key items will be switched around with each other. In this case, we're adding a couple extra spots to that as well. So any of the summoned monsters and the bosses that guard super weapons in the moon could have key items as well. And so in order to complete the game, you might have to go somewhere a little bit out of the way. There's many other flags too, and we might just cross them as we need to throughout the game.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. And this is the first of three races this week. Three major races, I should say, this week.
Oh yeah.
We'll talk about those as they come up later in the broadcast. We are down to, I think, 3 needs to get ready yet, but we're almost ready to go.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to the race.
Right now, everyone in chat is getting the weather report.
Yeah, well, you gotta know when it's gonna rain, right?
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's a pretty cool night where I'm at, but anyway, we're almost ready to go here.
If we're still waiting, I'm going to bring up one other flag that's going to be noted pretty early, because we have the No Free Lunch Challenge with N2, which means if you don't have this turned on, then you can go to certain places such as Mysidia and get characters to join your party without having to complete any battles. This turns that off. So whatever we start with, we're going to have to use for a while. We're not going to be able to junk any bad characters right off the bat.
Yeah, that's true. And I mean, there's a couple of places where you can get a quick character, but you do have to have the right characters to start with, and that's we are starting Porum? Is that what we're starting with today?
That's what it looks like. It looks like we are starting with the White Mage Porum.
Yes, that's right. So that's probably not going to knock out a lot of early bosses, but will be a nice helper as the game progresses.
Well, that kind of depends. I mean, we have the T4 flag on, which means treasure chests can contain all but like the very most powerful items in them. So we could get a good bow and arrow for Porum, and she can do, at least to the early bosses, a significant amount of damage. So
yeah, that is true. So I mean,
I'm not saying that it will happen. I'm just saying that it can happen.
Yeah, exactly. Although T4 is a little bit muted because we are playing with the Japanese items, so
that's also true. Those Japanese items take up a lot of treasure chests. Some of them very good, some of them not so good. But that's the fun of randomization.
Oh yeah, exactly. And it has gotten very popular. Like 200 people joined the the Discord over the last week, thanks to a news article that was posted on a very popular website. So it's getting big.
Yeah, and I've also seen some pretty big name streamers playing free enterprise recently, and I think that's also a boon. So between the article and well-known players playing the game, it's just great for our community.
Yeah, we actually there's actually one person who's always asking for races these days. So really great to see. Really great to see.
Oh yeah, you can find pickup races almost 24 hours a day these days, it seems.
All right, we are trying to get the last entry in there, and then it is go mode. We're just waiting for the runners to ready up. Okay, and there it is. And now we know Dark Edge Twitch is following Vitasia. Thank you for following Vitasia, and I recommend that you follow all of our feature runners, Vitasia, Silverfire, Penguinator, and Kobahi.
Yes, absolutely. Follow these runners for sure.
And I also, there it is. We are now about 20 seconds from racing. So I'm going to take this quick moment to thank Shaleza, who's going to track this evening, and Norastra, who is the restreamer.
They're the real heroes, for sure.
Yeah, no doubt. All right. And on that note, the competition has begun.
All right. Let's see who we get with our wizard. Hey! I got my wish!
You wanted it, Rex. You got it. It's Edward. Oh, that's oh.
That's going to be a difficult party to take down. At least some bosses that they're going to have to encounter with them. So we'll see what the racers do.
Mm-hmm. They do have some options, though. I mean, they can quickly get some experience, and they can go like the mist, what's it called? The Mist Cave, and they can net some quick experience there. And there are plenty of boxes or treasure chests they can pick up to help out as well. If they get a dancing dagger, boom, hand axe to start. On Penguinator's
or
side.
my favorite weapon, the Mute Dagger, was also a good one. It looks like we see Edge there in the Baron Inn. So if they can beat a couple bosses there, they'll get a very powerful character.
Yeah, so everybody's probably going to be going there at some point. Silence Staff over in Demkayan, so that'll be nice.
Yeah, that's one of the best weapons for Porum.
And black shirt, okay. But not too much else, though.
See a Sylph Summon in Rose's house. If they find Rydia, that could be a useful spell.
Well, I saw a wizard shirt as well, so that will be helpful. Oh, and there's an elven bow as well. That's over in Baron. Those two items are in Baron. Okay, Vitasia is going to give a go at the Antlion Cave.
Yeah, I think this is always a good move. There's a lot of treasure chests for early equipment in the Antlion Cave, and the boss is usually a pretty low HP. Well, it's going to be low HP, but pretty low stats overall, so it's usually one that's easy to conquer early.
Yeah, and it gives some decent experience as well. Dragon Whip found over in Vitasia's side in the Antlion Cave. Not going to help quite yet, but if Rydia shows up, that'll be big.
Oh yeah, the last run I played, I had a Rydia with the Dragon Whip and Berserker for the final boss, so it can do work, that's for sure.
And Penguinator,
like, yeah.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, Penguinator immediately throwing down the starter item down the well. Let's blow up a mountain.
Yeah, well, if you've got the ability to blow up a mountain, I think that's what you do, right?
Sounds good to me.
I haven't seen anyone go to Mount Hobbs yet, which is a place where they would be able to find another character. We'll see when people decide to try to recruit somebody else.
Indeed. Looks like Silverfire is going to head to Terraria. Hope I pronounced that right.
Yeah, without the Earth Crystal, Silverfire won't be able to collect all of the treasures that are available in the castle, but there still is some a pretty high number of treasure chests in there. Let's see who Vitasia's fighting there. Looks like Plague. That might be a tough one for Edward and Porum to deal, even in this spot.
Yeah, especially with a starting miss. Although that was a nice pop there by Porum.
Probably has that silent staff on it.
Yeah, but oh, that clock is running real fast.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough one. They might need to find another character or gain some levels before they'll be able to take him out. We'll see.
And I'm afraid time has run out, so he'll come back later.
Penguinator has made his way down to the underworld.
Yeah, I think this is mostly an item finding quest for now. I don't
Almost
see.
certainly.
Yeah, I don't see him going after the boss here quite yet.
But there is a Gaia drums for sale in that dwarf castle. That could be a very useful item for getting rid of early bosses. It casts a quake spell if you use it in battle. See Windman in the chat saying, when you have Edward, you don't need to rush recruitment. That may be the case.
Okay, Penguinator is still wandering through, trying to pick up something interesting. Not really finding much there.
Yeah, well, the Dwarf Castle is another one that has a lot of treasure chests available right away, so might be just trying to grab items to sell to buy more usable items.
So what? One of the flags is known as S2. S2, is that correct? Yeah. So there are some better items down in the underground than there are in the overworld. So totally can
Actually,
see where
looks
that's
like
coming
we're
from.
on S3 this week.
Oh, we're on S3. I apologize. So
Yeah.
S3 means that you can get anything from the store except the most powerful weapons and armor in the calls. So
It looks like we do see Rydia at the top of Mount Hobbs. So that Sylph Summon might come into play. If they can take down these Baron Guards.
yeah, that's going to be tough. Oh, I wonder if those coffins would work against the guards.
I think in the regular game that might be true. However, this week we do have that No Free Lunch 2 flag. So all boss battles will have what's called the boss bit set. So they're going to be immune to most status and special attacks.
Oh, yeah, you're right. So Silverfire gives it a go, but they're going to have to try it again a little bit later.
Yeah, Vitasia's going to that same battle now too, running into those same guards. Might have that same problem. And Penguinator going to Tomra, home of my favorite NPC in the game. He's going to the treasure room. Is he going to find out if that guy is a farmer? He gets a Bahamut summon though, so that's really nice.
Yeah, big find there, as well as the Assure call. Why don't we just add that too?
And even if Penguinator doesn't decide to recruit Rydia, the other thing is both of those summons can be sold for a lot of money and to buy a lot of items that they might want in the game. In either case, they're good finds. Though I think with Rydia on Mount Hobbs, they're probably going to want at least Bahamut.
Yeah, but now we know that it is available. Oh, he also found a Protect Ring. which is also pretty big. Okay, Vitasia's coming back and is going to try a couple big bombs. And that worked out very well.
In Silverfire, they're using a Grimoire and got Bahama to show up and take care of those guards, so that's good. And we do have a dancing dagger from Kobahi being used on flags, so that might be a good way to take care of that boss.
Nice play, Kobahi. So now we're going to see our first key item beyond the first one. Oh, okay.
Well,
so the crystal is required to defeat the final boss.
Yes, it's one of the items you absolutely need to complete the game. So that is
theoretically. Oh, I'm sorry. All they need is to get the pass, and then they can win the game right now with a level 15 Edward, a level and a level 10 Edward.
Right. Well, either a pass or the darkness crystal will also work, because then they can. It might be a longer walk, but they can walk all the way down to where Zeramis normally would be found.
Penguinator is going through the
Land of the Summoned Monsters, right?
Thank you, Land of the Summoned Monsters, and
I got your back.
Up that key. I got to pick up that key item. It's the package.
Well, the package, yeah. If you deliver that to Mist as in the regular game, you'll be able to get a character. Normally, you'd get. Oh, there's the pass too. In the Land of Summoned Monsters, we might be in for a short race this week.
Well, I don't know. The race is still very early, but man, Penguinator's hitting a few of the right keys right now.
So the pass has been repurposed in Free Enterprise. Normally, it would just get you into a special members-only club in Terraria, but in this randomizer, you can use it in the same location, but instead of getting to the club, you instead have a one-way ticket right to the final boss. So you better have your crystal, otherwise you're just going to get smacked around.
So all Penguinator technically has to do now is to go to the Antlion Cave.
That's right. And all anyone else that's completed the Antlion Cave has to do is go down to the Land of Summoned Monsters and purchase a pass.
Oh, what is Silverfire doing? Oh, okay. Silverfire has called the Siren to get a very quick 34,000 experience, which is going to be worth a horde of levels.
Absolutely, not going to have a tough time with any of the early bosses with that kind of level up.
Yeah, 12 levels for Porum, just like that. 10 levels for Edward, 10 levels for Rydia. Wow.
Oh, you're right, Smash. You won't get slapped around. You'll just sit around while Zeramis shakes at you for a long time. In either case, you're not going to finish this game. Looks like Silverfire's doing a dip into the Sylph Cave. Going to visit Yang at the bottom.
Penguinator in stereo. Meanwhile, Vitasia, I believe, is taking the Fabul challenge against Rubicon.
Rubahi finds a Zeus gauntlet for sale, however, doesn't have anybody who can currently equip it.
So I'm thinking that this match against Rubicon might be too much for now. But Gobahi's gonna give it a go as well.
Looks like Silverfire is entering the land to summon monsters.
Didn't he already find the crystal?
No. Well, it's not. No. I don't believe so.
No, it was Kobahi. There's a tracker thing. I should be paying attention, so I apologize.
Deja able to take down Rubicon. Kobahi now entering that same battle.
Kobahi did defeat, well, actually, and Vitasia, both at the same time, did actually defeat Rubicon. Well done. And they get a Luca key.
Was that adamant armor that Penguinator just found and missed?
Unfortunately, I didn't notice, but if that's what Penguinator picked up, ooh.
And now delivering the package, and it looks like Rosa is the character that's available to be acquired in Mist via the package. And Rosa is one of the most sought-after characters, I believe.
Yeah, and I would say this early in the game, it would be totally fine to replace Rosa with, Porum with Rosa.
You don't even have to replace at this point, I don't think. Not a lot of characters been recruited yet, so. And I think Edward would probably get the boot before Porum does.
Yeah.
Sorry to all the Edward fans out there. I know that there are big Edward fans out there, and if you want to roll with Edward, go for it.
All right, Silverfire does proceed to pick up the pass. Vitasia finds a crystal sword, which is the strongest sword in the game for Cecil.
Yeah, that's always a good find. Can do a lot of damage.
A charm rod for, I believe, Rydia, which would improve, which I believe improves her spellcasting ability.
Yeah, I believe that's the wisdom stat for black magic.
So we have 3 dark imps over in Silverfire's side.
I believe that's the Baron Inn fight, right? Trying to recruit Edge.
Ah, right. And those dark imps just got wiped out. So that was the first boss. Now let's see what the second boss is.
When we have Valvolus.
Oh boy, this is gonna be a challenge, but well, I think it's gonna be made easier with the Sylph call.
Oh, used a grimoire but got Odin, and Odin does not work on bosses in this.
No.
Meanwhile, Penguinator had to defeat a boss in order to get Rosa. It was the Dark Elf. In that slot, in the Kaipo Inn, it's a very low HP, not a difficult fight. And so Penguinator has added Rosa to his team.
So the good news about this fight here over in Silverfire's side is that Valvolus is relatively slow. So he's not able to pull off that major damage that Weak always pulls off. And Rydia is just able to cure everybody right back, and boom, down it goes.
Yeah, that Stardust Rod that Silverfire has equipped to Rydia is the one that's going to increase her wisdom the most, which also boosts her summons. So that makes using that Sylph summon found very early in the game very useful.
So they get a free night at the inn for that, and Silverfire's on his way. on their way, excuse me.
I wonder how many people who went and saw Plague and just got kind of scared off by the boss early are just going to put it off for long and long, or if they're going to go back as soon as they think they can take him. I think that's the big question here, because if they go back, they'll be rewarded with that crystal.
I caught a quick glimpse of the sand ruby person. Was that Cecil?
Oh, I missed it. I'm sorry.
So Silverfire now calling. Now going to go ahead and pick up Rosa here. Zangreef and Angry Canuck, thank you for the confirmation. It was indeed Dark Knight Cecil.
Well, if you've got that crystal sword, you might consider picking him up. Well, if you find the sand ruby, that is. Looks like Vataja's going to fight the Dark Imps and Valvalus, try to get edge.
Sanguinator off to try his hand at the guards. Now, Silverfire is in Mist Village.
I'm doing a little shopping, it looks like.
Yeah, we're going to confirm real quick that that village contained the adamant armor.
Yeah, I believe it's in one of these chests here. There it is.
Yep, there it is. Yeah, that's a really nice find. So what is the adamant armor? The adamant armor gives a horde of defense. It adds a ton of stats. It adds a ton of points to your stats. That's what I wanted to say. And it also gives you a ton of resistance to like everything. So that is so. Like, if you think Eredric's armor was really good from Dragon Warrior, no. Final Fantasy's adamant armor is better.
Yeah, you equip it on a fighter, it makes them faster and stronger. You put them on a magic user, like the effect of their magic goes way up, and plus, it's very hard for those characters to die. So, it is a great piece of armor.
So Vatasia has a little bit of a disadvantage here because Rydia does not know Sylph on his side.
Yeah, that's going to make this fight a lot more difficult.
Alright, Kobahi has entered the land of summon monsters. We'll proceed to get the package and presumably the pass.
As long as he checks the item shop, he should see it, and I'm sure he'll buy it if he sees it.
And there it is.
So right now, Kobahi just needs to assemble the party he wants, level up to a level, and then go and defeat the boss.
Meanwhile, oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true, and Penguinator is just about to join him.
Oh yeah, Penguinator in the Antlion Cave. Yeah,
So
definitely
Silverfire
say that
proceeds to pick
Kobahi's
up-
in go mode at this point.
Yes, excuse me. Silverfire does proceed to pick up Rosa. And there's the Star Veils and Moon Veils. Those cast Wall, which will be really nice if that's if it comes out if that winds up being required. Vitasia unfortunately falling to Vivalis.
Yeah, that's a tough spot for Vivalis if we don't have something that's gonna do that extra oomph like Sylph did for some of our other runners here tonight. Okay, Penguinator in the Plague fight with a well-equipped Rosa, one-shotting Plague, and Penguinator is going to get the crystal.
So pretty much all Penguinator has to do is grind for points. Govahi doing the exact same thing, picking up a quick 34k. Now, one of the flags that we have, and it's typically used throughout our weekly series, is a flag that awards double points. Well, actually, there's two things. One of them says no splitting of experience, so every character gets the full experience, whether there's 1 alive or 5 alive or 87 alive, it doesn't matter. Everybody gets the same experience.
Yep.
As we see Bahamut over on Mount Ordeals. Whoa.
Gotta beat them fast.
Yeah, this is definitely a DPS race. It's either that or you need a Moon Veil or a Star Veil or the Wall Spell. So the other thing about the experience flag is that if you pick up 10 key items, and they actually have to be the key items that you see on the tracker here, that will score you double experience points on top of the no experience splitting.
Yeah, so default you're getting, well, like about, if you've got a full party of 5 times the experience that you'd normally get for a battle, and 10 times if you got the 10 key items. So you can grind levels pretty fast.
Over in Vitasia's side, ouch.
Yeah, Vitasia's been running into walls left and right this run. So looks like Silverfire's defeated Plague, gonna pick up their crystal and also be in go mode along with Penguinator and Kobahi.
So 3 of our featured runners currently in go mode. Reminder that there are 24 racers in this 24 runners, excuse me, in this race. So any one of them could wind up the winner here today. We've got a lot of really good runners. I'm not gonna mention names in fears of missing one, but this is gonna be a great race.
Yeah, it could end up being a fast race, but that doesn't mean it's not a great race. If we got 3 of our featured streamers in go mode at this point, it really is going to be a race.
Penguinator electing to take on Rubicant. Get some quick experience. So I think the one item that I think all of our runners need right now is the Siren. Because the Siren is what calls those 34,000 experience point eggs.
That would indeed allow for a pretty quick grind. They may also be, the runners may also be trying to just pick up characters and key items as quickly as possible so they can get a full party. And if they can get to that 10 key item mark, that would make the grind go that fast.
Silverfire didn't find the Siren, but they found the tent. It'll be a nice thing to have if the occasion arises.
Or if you just like camping under the stars.
Alright, Batasia's gonna try Bahamut again.
And Silverfire going into Dwarf Castle looks like just for shopping. at this point at least.
Yeah, I think they're still looking for the siren. Where is the siren today?
I don't think it's guaranteed to be in a shop, but if so, we haven't. If it is in a shop, it's either in one that we haven't seen yet, or yeah, I don't think we've seen it yet. Otherwise, I think they would have bought them. There's a lot of curatives in this Tomra shop, but no sign.
Yeah. Okay, this Bahamut's gonna be melted here in a minute. What do you think? 99.99?
Well, that. Mega Nuke is Mega Nuke, as the website for Free Enterprise will tell you.
Ding!
Got the quad 9s.
Bam! That is what we call melting a dragon right there.
Yeah, but Vataja's not done if he's trying to complete Mount Ordeals, because there's another boss just a few steps over. And it looks like they've got another DPS race going with the Odin fight.
So I'm gonna heretofore rename Mount Ordeals Mount DPS. Penguinator defeating Vivalis to get edge. Gobahi trying the same thing.
And Silverfire looks like it's running into Leviathan in the Dwarf Castle.
I did not notice the character picked up over there.
And I just want to point out, Invenerable in the chat mentioned that the Luca key is available for our runners, and the Luca key, as you see, both Kobahi, Vitasia, and Penguinator all have the Luca key. That has access to the sealed cave, and the trap doors in that sealed cave, should you choose to turn encounters on, are an excellent source of experience if they're not able to locate sirens.
Vitasia ran out of time with Odin the first time, but it's gonna go ahead and give it another go. Silverfire is doing pretty good against Leviathan. It did have one person go down there, but I think they're gonna be okay for now.
Yeah, that Ice 2 that Leviathan's checking out is pretty powerful, it looks like.
True, but fortunately they're keeping up with life potions.
Correct.
Oh, Vitasia runs out of time again. And unfortunately he's gonna bail for now.
Yeah, yet another roadblock for Vitasia.
Silverfire proceeding to defeat Leviathan, which is worth a nice chunk of experience here. And now the Mist Dragon for boss number 2, and who joined? Fusoya, oh boy.
Well, that's a pretty good character. To answer a question in the chat, Big Noober asks, no random encounters? With the settings that we have this week, the default is that there are no random encounters, but you can go into your menu and choose to turn them on. So if you want to have random encounters, you can turn them on. That can be useful for grinding in certain places, such as the moon. However, for most of the game, they're probably going to have it off because it takes a lot longer to deal with those random encounters.
So, Silverfire has dispensed of Edward. And they're going to try the Mist Dragon. Unfortunately, they tried to get the Titan off and couldn't do so. So you notice that.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. So you notice that Fusoya doesn't have a very impressive spell set, and there's a reason for that. There's something called the Fusoya Challenge, and in this week's race, it's set so every boss that you defeat will unlock additional spells for Fusoya and gain 100 bonus hit points. So Silverfire is going to need to defeat 8 more bosses, the Mist Dragon being one of them, to fully unlock Fusoya's power.
Right, and bosses can also be a decent source of experience for the rest of the party too, so you're helping them all out at the same time.
So 34 minutes into our contest, Kobahi does defeat Odin.
Yeah, Kabahi's got a higher level and 5 party members, making the DPS race a lot easier for him than it was for Vitasia.
Well, except Vitasia is going to be really easy now that Rydia's learned Bahamut.
Yeah, that'll make Rydia considerably more formidable in those battles.
And that was found over in
we have a wyvern sighting on Kobahi's screen.
Oh, but the good news is the wyvern doesn't have that many hit points, and down it goes.
Yeah, that's one of the most friendly places to see that boss that is often very scary. Oh, Penguinator just used a pass and opened the door to Zeramus.
But what the heck? I'm sorry. I figure what the heck? He's there. Might as well.
Does that door stay open now? I guess I've never left that room after using the pass, other than going down to Zeramus.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I guess we'll have to keep an eye on Penguinator when he goes back there to fight Zeramus.
Okay, looks like Silverfire is doing some shopping, doing some item management, and Penguinator is going to take the Dwarf Castle Challenge here.
And it looks like Vitasia is going to try that Dark Elf Valvelus combo again, this time armed with Bahamut.
Yeah, slightly harder opponent for our bosses here.
Yeah. So we're going to have both Penguinator and Kobahi at the Leviathan fight here. Or excuse me, Leviathan. No H.
So Silverfire is electing to turn on encounters and is going to randomly run into monsters here in the Sylph Cave.
Yeah, I guess Silverfire figures that without sirens available, this might just be the best place to grind. And the party of Rosa, Porum, Rydia, Edge, and Fusia is definitely capable of defeating Zeramus given the right levels.
Penguinator defeats Leviathan. Gonna be really happy to see the person showing up on his screen.
Oh yeah. Well, has to fight a Mist Dragon first, but...
Okay, Vitasia does receive Edge here.
I think Penguinator was trolling with us for a little bit, trying to make it look like they're going to ditch either Edge or Fusia, but no. Makes the choice of getting rid of Edward. the predictable choice. Silverfire
And
having to
Kobahi's going to do the same thing.
Silverfire dealing with the tiny toads and the toad ladies croaking at them.
Yeah, he also had to deal with, I forget what, the Malboros, who...
Yeah, the bad breath.
Turn you into everything.
Looks like both Kobahi and Penguinate are having no problem with that Mist Dragon. One thing to note with this no free lunch seed, defeating that Mist Dragon does unlock another potential key item in Mist. So if they go back to Mist, if they're getting close to that 10 key item threshold, they might want to go back there and see if they can't get another key item right before they grind.
And what was at the Dwarf Castle? It was... Oh, the Artemis Bow. Oh.
Yeah, very nice item, especially considering Rosa in the party.
So now, Silverfire going after those mobiles again, but I think they've got Hourglass ones, which stops monsters in their tracks.
And interestingly enough, with that Artemis bow and the party makeup of mostly mages, the party runners may decide that Rosa's their second best physical attacker if they can find some decent arrows for her, and might just Darkness Crystal, seeing multiple things happen at the same time. But as I was saying, they may choose to use Berserk on Rosa and use Fusia and Porum as healers in the final battle.
Yeah,
I know it's something that I've done in the past.
Yeah, the Darkness Crystal allows you to go into the Dark World. There's a character there and a whole bunch of bosses where you can get additional key items. Although they aren't necessary because they aren't necessarily necessary. That's what I want to say, because the pass was the pass and the crystal to beat Zeromus has already been found.
That's true. However, there's a couple of reasons that they might want to do there. As you said, there's a character there, and this party is lacking melee characters. So they might want to see if they can find Kane or Sid or somebody like that on the moon. And plus, without sirens, going to the moon is a good grind spot. Plus, there is a shop in the Hummingway abode that might have those sirens that people are looking for.
Well, we're going to find out in a couple minutes' time, because Penguinator is picking up the big whale.
And I forgot, I forgot one more. Demarine in the chat reminding that the Darkness Crystal also gives access to the Giant of Babil, which is also another great grind spot. So you can grind off of D machines or machine dragons. So a lot of benefits for finding that Darkness Crystal in Mist.
Yes, that is a good point. And with Kobahi and Penguinator both finding that item, that the Darkness Crystal with Fusoya, that makes for a really appetizing grind right there.
Absolutely. And Kobahi just went into the end of the watery pass. Looks like Kobahi is trying to find extra bosses to defeat quickly to power up Fusia, as you said, with the Fusia challenge.
Well, it looks like Penguinator is going to see the... Oh, there it is. There's the siren on the moon.
So yeah, Penguinator looking to be in great shape for the grind.
So looks like Penguinator will likely elect to start cooking some eggs.
Well, that's we'll see. Either the egg grind or the D-machine grind are both great, but if Penguinator bought a bunch of sirens, then you're probably right. It's probably going to be the eggs. It definitely looks like Silverfire's happy grinding in that Sylph Cave. So.
Yeah, Demarine asking possible 3 different grinds for 3 different runners, which we're going to have a nice little study here as to which grind is best.
And it looks like there is a good melee character on the moon. Yang is the character that you get in the Lunar Palace. And we'll see if Penguinator decides to keep Yang. And yes, Porum gets the boot.
Yeah. Either Porum or Rosa or Yang, we're going to get the boot on that one.
Looks like Vitasia's about ready to battle Leviathan.
Kobahi off to face Calbrena, and, well, that was a competitive fight.
Yeah, continues to... and Fusia now at full power, it says, so... Probably not going to bother taking more bosses just for fun.
Yeah, but how about the life staff, which gives a huge boost to white magic power, and it was promptly equipped on Porum, I believe.
But it looks like Kobahi is going to take one more boss here because of a potential another key item to try to get to that 10. Silverfire making good use of that Odin summon to take care of a lot of these encounters in the Sylph Cave.
So the second boss in Baron is the tricky trio of Sandy, Cindy, and Mindy. But the magic isn't too wicked. And then there's also Bahamut.
Yeah, Bahamut makes these in getting a summon that you'd normally get very close to the end of the game makes short work of many bosses.
The Penguinator actually has gone into the lunar subterrane and is summoning red giants.
Ah, that's what they're going to use the sirens for. Yeah, this is a good choice. If you've got the Odin summon, most of the encounters in the lunar subterrane, well, at least like the warlocks and carries, can easily be defeated with Odin. Red giants, however, as you just saw, not susceptible to stone.
So Penguinator is going to go somewhere else.
It looks like we see Kane as the character that you get for completing the Baron Castle sequence. You'd normally get Sid in the vanilla game at that point. But Kane is a great physical character, or physical melee character, to work with the party of mages that we've got so far.
Yeah, and I would argue that Kane is better than Yang here, but Yang also has its advantages with having huge HP totals.
Yeah, that's definitely the biggest advantage of Yang. He can tank a lot of hits. He can sometimes, if you level him enough, he can tank a couple big bangs from Cerebus. So.
Okay, Penguinator electing. Oh, I'm sorry. Penguinator electing to go with the more traditional grind of egg frying.
Yeah, I think if the Siren yielded Warlock carry combo in the Lunar Subterrane, that's probably what he'd be grinding on. But getting those red giants are just not going to work out there.
So I believe that most of our featured runners are going into a grinding phase. So I'm going to take this moment to mention our second race that's coming up this week, our second big race coming up this week. It's another weekly race over in the Speed Gaming Network. And those flags are going to be slightly easier than the flags you're seeing here, but other than that, it's pretty similar.
And don't get Game Boy wrong. Easier doesn't mean shorter. It's a randomizer, so sometimes it can, even though we're in the grind phase here, sometimes it can take longer than that.
Yes, indeed. And that is at 7 o'clock Eastern. I'm not sure exactly which channel on Speed Gaming, but it will be on that network. So that'll be something for Free Enterprise fans to look forward to. Okay, Penguinator unequipping the adamant armor.
That's not a move you see very often.
Yeah, so here's the thing about the adamant armor. If you unequip it, you become weak to like all the elements for the remainder of the game.
Yeah. Yeah, usually it's not something that would be recommended unless you're ready to ditch the character. But if you absolutely think that another character is more important, then it might be worth the risk.
Kabahi going to the moon. See what's going on over there. Oh, there you go. Kabahi's going to be very happy when he goes to that shop.
He's going to find those sirens for sure.
Immediately picks up 70 of them. Interestingly enough, the exact same quantity of Penguinator picked up.
Silverfire getting annoyed by a back attack toad lady.
So annoyed that they stopped them all.
I find that enemy group is the most annoying enemy group in the game because all that they do is cast Toad, so they're not even a threat, but they take up so much time by just spamming that spell on you over and over again.
Kabahi taking Yang and electing to remove Kane from the festivities today.
Yeah, it looks like maybe the equipment draw, because I know that the runners found a pair of cat claws, which are Kane's best weapons. So I think the equipment draw is probably what is drawing them more towards Yang rather than Kane. It looks like Kabahi had Kane using an ancient sword, which is not a very strong weapon.
Oh, Vitacia's in Mist Village now. Gonna be, I don't know if happy or annoyed is the right word when he finds the adamant armor. Because he's got to guess that a numerous number of other runners has already picked that armor up.
Well, it's a hard thing to think about because it's not like I don't think Mist is a very high priority early spot for people to visit until they find either the package or defeat the Mist Dragon and have some other reason to visit Mist. There's only a few treasures there, and there isn't even an item shop. And item shops are usually the shops that you're looking for, either to find the pass or, as people were trying to find in this race, the sirens. So lacking that item shop just means that it's not usually as high a priority. In this case, of course, we all know that everyone else has already been to Mist, and Fantasia is a little bit behind, but I don't know if I think anytime you find an adamant armor, it's a good.
Still think Penguinators need some more eggs. 53 minutes in, nobody's finished quite yet.
Yeah, and we hit go mode what, about a half hour in?
Yeah, give or take. I want to say 35 minutes.
Yeah, so that just shows you if you don't have the party and you don't have a great grind spot yet, it can still take a while to find what you need.
Zangief in chat asking, where is Kobahi going? I initially thought, good question. Dembrine is coming in with floor 6 grind, and which would be these King Ryus here. And they're going to be the recipient of some nukes.
Again, finding those hourglass items in shops have been very useful for both Silverfire and Kobahi here.
Batasia now going against Odin now.
Yeah, with that full party, with Fusia, this is going to be a lot easier of a fight. And Odin goes down relatively easily. The Silverfire not even wanting to mess with that Toad Lady anymore. I don't blame them.
All right, so I'm going to take a quick moment to mention the other big event coming up, and this one is real big. There's this.
This is quite exciting. I agree.
Yeah, there's this Final Fantasy IV workshop feature happening over on RPG Limit Break. And we got 4 big-time runners, Rivers McCown, Couch 23, Dragon MZ, and Invenerable. They're going to have, at 1 o'clock, they are going to have a 4-way race with some rather complex flags, if I'm not mistaken. And then the top 2 are going to advance to another race that will happen at 3 o'clock, about 3 o'clock, give or take. So that's going to be really fun. We're going to have Boardface, the author of this randomizer, in his commentary. Penguinator and Alexa LaFay are also going to commentate. It's going to be a big thing.
Yes.
I highly recommend that you show up if you can.
Mark your calendars for sure.
And that'll be Saturday at 1 o'clock Eastern. That is on RPG Limit Break.
One thing that Kobahi is doing in this grind is, as the first King Ryu gets defeated, he's throwing either a Life 1 spell or a Life Potion at that enemy as it's dying. What this does is kind of trick the game into trying to revive the enemy at 0 HP, and believe it or not, that counts as another kill. So getting more experience. So fighting 2 King Ryus, getting the experience for 3 of them. It's a pretty good trick to use when grinding for experience in this game.
All right, let's see where Vitasia is going to go now. Yeah, that's right.
Looks like using the Baron key. If he goes and completes the bosses there, he'll be rewarded with Cane. So yeah, we are seeing 3 different grind strategies from 3 different runners right now.
And the question right now is, which one is best?
Looks
Penguinator's
like
now
to fight the the boss in the Mist Dragon position. Looks like thinking to power up Fusia is my guess.
Yep. Vitasia is going to go through the Baron key, or to the Baron. cave.
And it looks like we have.
I'm going to give a.
Looks like we have our first finishers, both first and second place. We have Night Dew in first place and Scratch Dragon in second place with this race at 58:05 and 58:20 respectively.
Wow, that's pretty much the definition of a jet seat. As a matter of fact, I think that's the fastest time on these flags this week. GG, Night Dew and Scratch Dragon. Well done. So we'll probably have them coming in for an interview in a little bit, but we're still going to focus on our 4 featured runners.
Absolutely. Just wanted to give a quick update to the status of the race for the people watching. Bahamut frying some King Ryus. And yeah, Penguinator going after some easy early bosses to power up Fusia. So I believe Penguinator's grind is complete. Once Penguinator has the spells and hit points that he wants for Fusia, I'm sure we're going to see a battle against Ceremus.
So there's one more event before we get Night Dew and Scratch Dragon in here for interviews. There's one more event that I've been asked to bring up. Ocarina of Time now has a randomizer. It's recently come out by Amazing Ampharos. He's going to do commentary for this special feature on Randomania. That's Friday night at 6 o'clock Eastern. Apache and... Apache and Marco8641 will be running that, so that'll be another really cool thing to watch. That's on Randomania 1. Friday night. Tasia now going, having defeated the first boss in Baron.
Collecting some treasure, it looks like.
Oh, there was a ribbon. Now we're going to find out if that door stays open. Nope. Oh, but he already turned in the pass, so the door opens a lot faster.
Oh, okay.
And here we go.
And now we're going to see the effects of the Z flag for the free Enterprise Randomizer, which means once the crystal is used on Zeromus, the transformation is going to be a little bit more drastic than it is in the regular game.
A little? All right, what's your guess? Anybody have a guess in chat? Or Rex, what's your guess?
I like the HDMS, which is the giant Zeromus sprite.
So I'm a Dragon Warrior fan, so I always have to root for the slime.
Oh, Slimemus? Sure.
I don't know if you've run into Slimus yet, but
I haven't, but I can imagine it. I'm also a big Dragon Warrior fan, so well, here we go. His true colors emerge.
Grrrg.
Oh, and we've got Animus. I believe this was the same Zeromus sprite that I had the last time I played.
Oh, very good. All right, we have Night Dew and Scratch Dragon in the commentary booth. GG to both of you. Well done.
GG indeed.
GG guys. Thank you very much.
So we'll start with our winner here. You were not featured on stream, so if you could please take us through your race here. That'd be great.
It was definitely better than last Monday. So I'm thinking with the party we started with, though, we had Edward and Poron, which isn't exactly the best damage in the world. So I found myself looting. I went through Baron, saw Edge immediately. I'm like, well, I want that. Went up to Mist, found the adamant armor that was in Mist. So that was definitely a great find. Stardust Rod in the Kaipo pot, actually. Which all led to Rydia up on Hobbs. From there, I definitely went around. I went and actually got Edge at that point in time. And if anybody is listening, I actually did switch the adamant armor over to Edward to shoot Val Palace down a little bit of time, which did finally end up working. I thought I wasted a ton of time on that, but a very early Edge. Then I finally went to Antlion. There's the crystal, and I'm thinking, great, here's go mode. So I'm thinking, I go do Fabul, and I'm thinking, okay, I just gotta go look for the pass. So after that, I do the World Tour. I'm checking everywhere for it. Don't find it. Head to the underground. Find the pass, finally. I believe land a summon monsters, but I'm thinking, okay, I have no grind here. So I'm thinking, okay, let's just go look for the hook. It's got to be in Eblan Cave. It's got to be in the moon. So I'm deciding, hey, I could use another party member. I go to Dwarf. I see Fu. He's not really all that powerful with the amount of bosses I did not fight. But the Mist Dragon in front of that led to Darkness Crystal, which led to the Sirens on the moon, which led to Yogg on the moon, which pretty much was grind and done.
Wow,
yeah, that's
very
pretty
good.
similar to a lot of our runners today. So, yeah, very very well done. Very well done, I must say. I also want to mention that Nirm is finished in third place at 104.02.
GG, Nirm.
Scratch Dragon, we'll get to you in a moment, but one of our feature runners is probably about to win because Penguinator really is playing Diablo 2 instead of Final Fantasy with all the hack and slashing that he's been doing to Animamus. And boom, already in the Meteo phase. Way too late for that black hole.
Yeah, Meteo coming at him again. As Meteo does in this fight. Very low damage.
And 38, that's enough. There it is. Penguinator is in there. Fourth place, 65 minutes, 56 seconds. Good game. All right, we welcome Scratch Dragon into the interview booth. If you can tell us about your race. I don't know how similar it was to Night Dews, but
GG Night Dew. But similar, not really, to be honest. I went to Baron first, looted Baron, saw Edge there, and I said, okay, yes, I want that. But then I went to the mountain. I went to Mount Hobbs instead. Because I got some Ice 2 items. Killed the thing there, went down into Antlion Cave, found Plague, almost didn't die to him, found the crystal, and I said, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to get Edge, we have the Magma Keep, we're going to search everywhere for either Cure 3s, the Pass, Cure 3 Pass, Coffin, and Sirens. Didn't find Sirens. So I said, all right, let's go pick up characters and try and figure out if we can get to the moon. Went around, found the Darkness Crystal, went to the moon, picked up Yang from the moon, picked up the Sirens from the moon, went straight back down for the grinding, and then proceeded to Zeromus, as terrifying as it was, only having a party of Fusoya, Edge, Rosa, Yang, and Porum. Oh, and I also didn't find the adamant armor because I didn't search Mist.
Well, so Scratch, did you just say you walked down the moon?
No. I found a pass. And then,
okay. I must have missed.
Yeah, I did the grind, went through the pass, and then boom, finished. But yeah, that was a seed because, finding the crystal sometime is terrifying.
Yeah, because most of the seeds in the races, they were going hour and a half, give or take. And boom, you both finished under 60 minutes. Now you're doing Scratch Dragon. That was very impressive.
No, thank you.
And we have Kobahi in the Zeramus fight, or the Animus fight as well.
So I have to. So I have to be. I have to admit, I'm not sure who Animus is.
Oh, Animus is Seymour's summon in Final Fantasy X.
Ah. All right. So anything else that was pretty interesting? It seemed like a very straightforward seed, like with all the key items found very quickly.
Oh yeah, that was totally a jet seed. I mean, anytime you find a crystal that fast, I mean, the first thing that kind of goes through your mind is, okay, what is it going to take to put me in front of Zeramus right now?
Right. Well, yeah, I must say, well done to both of you. Very, very fast race. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thanks for joining us.
And it looks like we have Bill Bodix just finished at 44. He's still in that Animus fight. As well as looks like Fred Coughlin.
Wow, pretty close finish there. 69-44 for Bill Bodix. 69-57 for Fred Coughlin. So GG's very impressive finish.
And Silverfire finally got that Dark Crystal too. After grinding in the Sylph Cave all that time.
Ooh.
And it looks like Vitasia is fighting the bosses in the summon spots in the Land of Summon Monsters and got wrecked by Mom Bomb.
And there is the flash. Gobahi finishing in 7th place. 1 hour, 10 minutes, 28 seconds. GG to him as well.
Yes, GG Kobahi.
Demerai mentioning in chat that Kabahi's has been storming up the SRL ranks. So this is the big thing about this randomizer. So many new players can get involved and then quickly do so well. So Vitasia is, I
think, doing some shopping, maybe.
Yeah, I'm
thinking about
not quite sure.
Not quite sure where he's going. I think he might be stumped as to where to go next. He hasn't gone back to Antlion ever since that. You know, that's what I was afraid of this. You know, Plague got the best of him the first time he went down there, and hasn't gone back there yet to get that crystal. So now he's entering the Tower of Babel, you know, because there's a key item at the top of it potentially, but he's not going to get that crystal until he goes back to Antlion.
Wow, that alert just got melted.
It looks like Dragon MZ has finished at 1:12:33 as well. GG to Dragon.
GG to Dragon. So we're getting close to that halfway mark as far as finishers are concerned. So we'll take this moment to thank everybody for joining us today. It's been a real pleasure. We still got a little bit of race to go here on Randomania. I am Game Boy F9. I've been joined by Rex Roll this evening. I'd like to take a second to thank our tracker today, Shalasia. Obviously a big time help. Many thanks. Also want to thank our restreamer and the head honcho of Randomania, Norastra. So many thanks to him for his contribution not only to this race, but to many of the races that he helps out with. So,
absolutely. I said at the beginning of the stream, I'll reiterate it now, they're the real heroes. And don't forget to give our runners a follow as well. Vitasia and Silverfire still on screen, but Kobahi and Penguinator, both very worthy of a follow as well.
Supremacy finishing in 9th place, 73 minutes 22 seconds.
Looks like we got a CPU fight up where Dr. Luge would normally be. So we get Luge's music playing.
Yeah, this is definitely an unfortunate series of events that's happening over on his side here.
Yeah, and you got to feel for Silverfire too. They were in go mode quite early, and instead of finding that darkness crystal early and using that to find the sirens on the moon early, opted for a grind in the Sylph Cave for quite a while. But now, finishing up the grind using those sirens and grinding some eggs here.
Silverfire continuing their grind. Got this big battle against the CPU here, and this is not the worst fight in the world in this position. It's a lot of hit points, but as long as you don't kill the attacker, it's totally fine.
Yeah, the really low-level Kane makes it a bit more of a grind of a fight, just because we don't have a lot of, because of the CPU has wall status put on it. Using magic is not usually a good idea, and summons even more so, because we don't want to kill that attacker. Otherwise, you'll get hit with a Globe 99, which will kill party members in one shot.
Well, I would say that Vitasia put a wall up on Fusoyawa. Unfortunately, it's not quite working out because the cures are bouncing off Fusoyawa's wall.
Yeah, I mean, against a lot of enemies that have the wall status, putting a wall on your own character is a good kind of counter to that strategy, because if you bounce a spell off your own wall, it doesn't get rebounced by the opponent's wall. It'll go through their wall. However, in this fight, once you bounce it off your wall, you don't know which one of the enemies it's going to hit. As we mentioned, killing that attacker will release that deadly Globe 99 attack. So it's just it's a bit dangerous.
And unfortunately, we have mop mode.
Yes, we do. With no way to heal Fusia through the wall that was put up, that Meezer eventually got the job done and finish up Fusia. We also have Mechalink finishing the race at a time of 1 hour, 18 minutes, and 11 seconds. So GG to Mechalink.
GG indeed. So, we are having a little bit of downtime here, Rex. Let me ask you, what flag sets you've probably been through a lot of flag sets so far. What flag sets have you enjoyed the most?
I'm like my characters to get powerful really fast, and I like them to get powerful really fast through equipment. So anything with the T4 flag, which just gets a lot of good equipment early, that's something that I really like. I've also found the no free lunch flags to be a lot more fun than the free lunch ones. So I like to have to fight for a couple of them.
Yeah, a lot of people.
Characters.
Yeah, a lot of people really like the T4 and anything that's not S4, where you can get anything from the shops. That always seems to be a big thing within the community.
And it took me a while before I appreciated like using the Japanese items. I thought they were kind of cheesy, like just overpowerful, but learning them and learning the differences between them and when they're good and everything like that, I think has been really rewarding as well.
Yeah, I'm probably I was on the same boat. It's like, okay, what are all these J items doing here? And now, especially with the situation we're at here, with various flag combinations, you will find that some items are better than others. But with a different flag set, then it's a completely different set of items that are really good.
Absolutely, but I think, I'm kind of burying the lead here. The best flag is the Z flag.
Oh, well, yeah, everybody loves the Z flag. Especially when it's the slime. Although a lot of people like, I've seen a lot of people love it when Mike Tyson shows up.
I was just going to mention the Mike Tyson. That's another favorite for sure. Tasia's still going on that goose hunt. Looks like he's going to dip it to the Sylph cave.
Yeah, because I believe
he found the pan.
Was yeah. So I wasn't expecting to say this, but I do believe I get to say this. 5 little heroes running through the cave. They're going to scoop up Yang and bop him in the head with the pan.
If I'm given a frying pan, I know I'm going to try to find a cave with a lot of ghosts and toads in it and find someone at the bottom to hit with.
And now we're going to see what the good fairy has in store. The crystal ring. Well, it's not a key item, but that's a pretty powerful piece of equipment.
Yeah, it is it's one of the greatest armors for or like wrist armor, I guess, for a mage to have. That and the protect rings are the two that are the best, I think. Chokosura asking, how long is a typical K4 flag run? And I think if you're talking about a K4, you don't have a typical run. They are all very different because there's so many different locations that the key items can be in. It really depends on the seed how long it's going to take. It could be as simple as something that you're seeing today. Otherwise, it could be in a trapped chest on the moon. Who knows? That lunar subterrane has dozens of chests in it, any one of which could have a required key item.
All right, Silverfire has completed their grind, and it is off to Zeromus.
Yep, Silverfire going to be fighting Animus real shortly here. To answer the question, Dweedit asked, where was the crystal? The crystal is found in the Antlion Cave, guarded by Plague. Plague got the better of Vatasia very early in the game, and he has not gone back there yet. If he does go back there, he will find that crystal, and he can definitely take care of Plague now. That's no problem. At these levels, Vatasia could just wipe Plague off the face of the planet.
All right, so we have two more finishers finishing within 2 seconds of each other. Dr. Spin, 83 minutes and 50 seconds, and Z-Man just 2 seconds behind.
Yeah, good games to both Dr. Spin and to Z-Man.
So Silverfire is coming into this fight with a completely different party. Doesn't have a lot of fighters, so they're forced to use silk webs and the like to get through this fight here.
Silk Web was one of those Japanese items that's very useful. It casts a slow spell on the enemy, and can be very useful, especially if in a fight like Zeramus, where their attacks are very strong and you want them to not hit you very often with them.
So here's a cool strategy that we're seeing here. Fusoya bouncing the white spell off of himself and winding up on Zeromus here, and that does not cause a counterattack.
Yeah, I think that's a very smart strategy for a group that has very little firepower as far as melee attacks go. And we do have Big Dunka finishing at 1 hour, 25 minutes, and 39 seconds, so G to Big Dunka. Vatasia about to go to that Hummingway shop. Gonna find those sirens for sale.
So Silverfire is firing off slows and nukes at a particular time, and that time is right after Zeromus shakes, is when you want to fire an attack spell. He'll counter with nuke, but it will also vastly decrease the power of the Big Bang.
Right, that's sometimes referred to as nerfing the Big Bangs. But that timing is important. If you get that right, then that Big Bang does significantly less damage. If you get it wrong, you're eating a nuke and a Big Bang, and that's not all that useful.
And oh dear, the wall has expired on Fusoyan. Just got hit with a white there, and that spells mop.
Yeah, luckily they've got 2 white mages in the group to clean that up. So usually you use a mop to clean things up, but this is the mop that you have to clean up. So. And reestablish the wall on edge there. Oh, and there's the flash. Looks like we've got a finish from Silverfire. Official time of 1 hour, 27 minutes, and 26 seconds.
And Silverfire commenting, "Don't do what I did." And we'd like to welcome those who are joining us over from Randomizer 2, the Zelda 1 Battle Royale. You are now watching Final Fantasy IV Free Enterprise. I'm Gameboy F9 and joined by Rex Rawl.
Hello. Yeah, and we've got 3 of our 4 featured racers have finished. And we've got Vitasia still working on this. He's got one of the items that he needs to complete. The other one, the crystal, is in a place that he has already visited and just needs to go back to finish.
Hey, good evening, Silverfire.
Hi. That seed wanted to give me a great time, and then I just decided to, like, stop playing correctly.
Yeah, I was gonna say this was a tough week for you.
When I saw the darkness crystal, like when I gave up on the questionable Sylph Cave grind and immediately got the darkness crystal, I'm like, oh gosh, oh no.
Yeah, that one was we saw 3 different grinding strategies at the same time, and that Sylph Cave grind looks like that's what, because you were in Go mode at a pretty similar time to Kobahi and Penguinator on our as far as our featured streamers go. But
The thing is, I had even killed the Mist Dragon.
right.
All I had to do was go talk to Radia's mom.
Yeah. Do you have anything else you wanted to say about the scene?
I hope that I was a little bit entertaining doing the reflect kill on Zeromus.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was pretty cool. I did also want to mention the one thing I really liked early in your seed. You had a coffin and a siren, just the one siren sitting there, and you went promptly to defeat an egg, so you really made it a lot easier to kill those bosses. And I don't believe any of our other featured runners did that.
Yeah, if I'd only, then used that time lead intelligently. Oh well. Yeah, I really like doing that if it's available. And it was just like, yeah, I'm just gonna pile a bunch of XP on Edward and Rosa and do something with it.
Well, some of those with Edward and Porum at the start and getting a couple levels really help on some of those early bosses.
Oh, it really did. Like, I don't think I would have been able to handle that Volvalis at the Baron Inn that quickly otherwise.
Yeah, that's a tough one, especially at low levels. Volvalis can definitely rip a party.
Did anybody want a rat tail?
Not by fighting Dark Knight Cecil in the Land of Summoned Monsters.
I was tempted to take that fight, and then I just didn't. Maybe I should have gone for that fight just because I did have double white mage with really good levels.
Yeah, that's a fight that I've yet to solve.
So one of my practice rounds for this run, there was a required Dark Knight Cecil at the Odin spot.
Ooh, that is that's a fast Cecil.
That was brutal. So that would have been interesting had I actually decided to do that. Overall, I'm not super happy with my decision to just double down on grinding, particularly because I forgot that the J2 flag means that it uses the Japanese leveling for spell learning, which means Rydia doesn't get nuke at level 50.
Right.
Which means that there was no way that grinding strategy was going to pay off. Because if I could stop at 50 and then go nuke Zeromus with a reflect strategy, okay, maybe I get a reasonable time like that.
Yeah, and it's one of those that you just wouldn't know. Getting that Darkness Crystal would be that easy.
Yeah. Honestly, even if it wasn't that easy, I think going for 10 key items should have been my plan. And then if I still have no good grinding location at 10 key items, then I can commit to something silly and at least I'm getting double XP.
That's something that you think that it's usually even in this K2 environment to go for the 10 key items, even though you're not always necessarily guaranteed to get one when you go to a key item spot.
Yeah, and I love skipping ordeals so much, but it might not have even been correct given that it would have been 3 bosses to power up Fusoya.
Sure, we did see a lot of runners go and defeat the Octoman spot and the Mist Dragon spot just for Fu powering, and the ordeals is 3 for 1.
So we have, did we mention, no we didn't. We had Nitsky finish a minute and 5 seconds behind Silverfire, 1:28.31, and we have a 17th place finisher, Shad the Shade, 1:33.49 is the time there.
Yeah, congratulations to both of those runners.
So I believe we still have 7 runners running, including Vitasia here.
Yeah, he's going down another rabbit hole. Looks like he's going to try to fight the boss in the Bahamut spot. And that's the thing with this K2. If you forgot one item or one location, there's a lot of locations to check before you run out and think, what am I missing? Because right now, he's got the Bahamut spot and all of the bosses in the lunar subterrane to check. And my guess is that he's going to check all of them before he goes back to Antlion.
So Silverfire, I just got a good point from our restreamer Norestra here. You are, I believe, you're in the last race of the first round of the Final Fantasy Randomizer tournament. So, if you don't mind me going off topic here,
last race? Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Yeah,
I think
my race is tomorrow.
Yeah, what are your thoughts? If you don't mind me going off topic a little bit.
Oh, that's fine. I'm looking forward to it. I'm against Lord of the Synth, who I know from Dragon Warrior Randomizer. So I'm hoping that they've, taken the time to brush up on FF1 Randomizer. And I don't know. I'm just planning on. My strategy is always to play conventionally and a little bit conservatively, and just try to let good menuing and good decision making pull me through, and just be as consistent as I can.
Yeah. So, this is that tournament's actually been a really fun tournament to watch, and
oh, absolutely.
And as a matter of fact, it's going to be a doubleheader on Randomania. That's the second part of the doubleheader. The first part is 8 o'clock, also on Randomania. So there's another race there. So Vitasia defeats the King and Queen of Eblin, which is a super easy fight, and winds up getting an adamant armor out of it.
Well, Vitasia does have great equipment. That is certain.
By the way, did you know that Free Enterprise has been presented by Square? Made that very clear.
Alright, well, I'm going to hop off now.
Alright, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Silverfire, for joining us, and we'll see you tomorrow on Randomania. Tomorrow night.
Alright, good night.
Good night.
Yeah, definitely thanks to Silverfire for joining us. Yeah, and here's Vitasia going to the lunar subterrane, seeing Yang up here.
Yeah, still hasn't gone back to the Antlion cave. Alright, here we go. Lunar Subterranean. Gonna check out more key items.
Yeah, there's I think 5 bosses, if I'm remembering off the top of my head. There's Pale Dim, Wyvern, Plague, D Lunar, and Ogopogo. Those spots all could potentially have key items. In the Pale Dim slot, we got the looks like this is the Fabul Gauntlet. So he's gonna have to fight all the battles that you'd normally fight in Fabul.
Oh my. Well, this actually is one of the easier fights to take.
Yeah, it can be nasty if it's in a spot that has a really high physical attack, like Rubicante or something like that. But in most spots, it's not that bad. It is time-consuming, as tweeted notes in the chat, because there are many battles to get through.
I tell you what, well, I'm reading the race spoilers chat over on the Discord, and it is pages and pages and pages long.
Oh, I haven't looked at that at all yet. So.
Yeah, you're going to be reading for about a half hour or so.
Well, I'll just consider that like my reading material for tonight, so I'll wait until after the race.
Indeed. Yeah, one's thinking about possibly grinding trapdoors instead, but...
Yeah, with that Luca key, I think that's a viable option. I mean, the fact that they were able to defeat the Mist Dragon and get the sirens in the moon made it kind of a moot point, but failing that, if the Darkness Crystal wasn't something that was easy to get, and they've got the Luca key, I think that's a pretty decent grind spot, for sure. I know I've used it.
And Z-Man actually went to the giant cave, so there was just like so many ways you could get the points required. This seed is great.
Yeah, with the sirens not being found early, it really kind of opened the door to alternative grinding methods.
All right, I believe we're at the last part of the gauntlet here.
Yeah, I believe this is the last one.
Yeah, those fighters, man, they need to beef up here. I mean, you'd think they'd be from Golbez, but no.
Nope, they're still pretty tough, and the general is still cowardly as ever. Got full power Fusia, get a glass helmet, an interesting item.
Yeah, it's the highest defense item.
Well, for physical defense, for magic defense, not so much.
Yeah.
And yep, he's dipping back into the Lunar Subterranean, gonna go clear out those other bosses.
Alright, so here we go for more.
And I'm guessing that Batasia's gonna open very... I wouldn't expect him to open many chests, but... because there are a lot of the chests in here are trapped.
Yeah, like this one. Although there could be a much worse fight than 2 warlocks and 2 carries.
Yeah, the 2 red dragon fight can be very difficult.
Yes. So in Dragon Warrior, we have a little term called the Fun Police, and they definitely the Red Dragons are definitely the fun police of Final Fantasy IV.
Yeah, I'll say they are not a joke, not to be taken lightly.
But meanwhile, the Warlocks and Carries are just going to get melted.
Yeah, I'll say Bahamut is doing some work there. Yeah.
Some. All right, let's move on to the next objective here. Yeah, it looks like he's... No, he picked up that one.
It looks like it might just be grabbing the ones that are right on the way, but I don't know. The risk of the trap chest just makes me...
Yeah, especially if they're... Yeah, exactly. And here's another trap chest. Oh, how about the fun police and the blue dragon?
The fun police and the medium police.
Yeah. But there is one really good thing about encountering them, is that they're worth a horde of experience.
Yeah, but when the one that casts Bahamut is now taking a little nap there, that's going to be tough. It looks like Porum might not know Light 2 yet.
Although if this was a K4 seed, this battle right here could contain the big item.
Absolutely. If this was K4, you'd probably have to open every single chest here, the Lunar Subterrane.
All right, we have any?
Yeah, Neon Gray finished at 1 hour 46:08.
And
So
he
GG
just
to Neon.
GG to Neon, and the comment of all the things to forget. So makes you wonder if was Neon talking about Rydia's bomb, or was the discussion about the Antlion cave?
Yeah, I don't know. That's definitely something, a comment that Vitasia might echo upon completing this seed. All right, Vitasia able to take out the dragons, get a ton of money, get a ton of experience. And just a Gaia drum. That's too bad.
Oy.
The Gaia drums are a great item early in the game. At this point, your magic's going to be much better than the Gaia drum is going to do. Oh, and he goes for another chest.
Another one. Fusariya is down to 20 magic points.
Yeah, he doesn't have much to start with, but he could choose to use Psych on the Warlock to get some magic points back.
Or you can regenerate hit points. That'll work.
Yeah,
10
that
points
is
at a time.
That is one of the J abilities restored in this with these flags for pre-Enterprise. In the U.S. release of the game, Fusia did not have that ability. He got a white spear. At least it's better than a Gaia drum.
Alright, looks like Tasia is headed off to the wyvern spot. But first...
another chest. He finds a behemoth.
Whoa.
Well, the glass helmet is an item that's very useful for behemoth fights. Very high physical attack. I don't know if the hourglass, does that work on behemoths?
I doubt it. No, it doesn't. I thought Behemoth had a boss bit. Ooh. Rhea's like, forget it, we're going with Bahamut. And then we're not.
Yeah, I know the behemoth has a pretty nasty counter to magic. I believe it's Storm that deals a lot of damage to everybody. I believe it's a multi-target weak.
Yeah, that's right. Imagine if Zeromus had had that spell.
Yeah, Zeromus is powerful enough as is. But I think that's like one of the great things about this game is how strong Zeromus is. Oh, look at no cabins.
Wow.
We went without a save. Like, I'd save at least in another slot, I think. I think that's what Potatia just did.
And it's the karate.
Well, I think this will be an easier fight than, say, the two dragons they fought. But, oh, maybe not. They short work of radio there.
Yeah, and this boss definitely has a lot of HP here.
Well, that kick was pretty serious business as well.
Indeed, having re-defeated Rydia. Going with the... Oh, with the regen again? Alright, so we are adding Crimson Avix to the restream list. He's working on the egg grind now. Tasia got karate. Oh, gets the tower key. Is he gonna go back through the tower? Empty Eye comes in 19th place with a final time of 152.26. So we are down to 5 runners. Oh, looks like Tasia is going back to Earth here. So the thing with the A grind is that it has very few hit points. But if you don't knock it out in one shot, it becomes the yellow dragon, which can deal some serious damage to your party. J-Lo has finished in 20th place with a time of 1:53.29. GG. And here we go. We're going to go to the Odin spot. And it's Ogopogo in that spot. I'm gonna go with Meteo. So Meteo takes a little bit longer to cast over Nuke. Nuke's almost instantaneous, but Meteo does give the bigger damage. So after a big magic attack like that, Ogopogo will counter with Blaze. And I believe that's going to be the end of Kane. Yep. Oh, well, win was lit 3, but that worked out. The Excalibur sword is the reward, which is a great item for throwing. And I am afraid that because Vitasia hasn't found the crystal, he has thrown in the towel this week. All right, so what we're going to do is we are going to host our last runner that we added to the restream, Crimson Apex, to wrap it up here. Do you have any final thoughts, Rex, before we head on out? Oh, I apologize. Crimson is going to go for Zeromus here, so we're actually going to stay right here. I would say he's in very good position here. Oh, I do wonder. Zeromus seems to be taking a lot of turns here. We do have Vitasia joining us for a quick interview. Good evening. Good game.
Yeah, we'll go with that one.
Yeah. That was definitely a tough struggle. Couldn't find the crystal.
So where did it end up being?
You're
actually
gonna kick yourself.
Yeah, it actually was in the it actually was in the Antlion Cave.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first place I went to, and I'm like, and I completely forgot. I never went back there. Wow.
That's what I was afraid of, that you just forgot about it, because you were going to everywhere that you could think of, and I'm like, if he just went back to that place where Plague got the best of him the first time, he'd be able to finish the seed no problem.
Yeah, and going through, like, that's a horrible start for how I usually open, because I usually start with Antlion, and as long as I have someone who can take at least one or two shots, usually Antlion Cave isn't so bad, but Edward Emporium, just to start off, was rough.
Yeah, and I said on the commentary that I thought that going to Antlion early is usually a very good idea because there's lots of treasure in there, an easy boss. So I thought you were on the right track, but once Plague got the best of you, and since you didn't go back there like after the next level that you got or the next character that you got, I'm like, this might be bad for Vitasia.
Yeah, and I completely forgot. I think at one point I'd even marked it off on my tracker. Like, yeah, I've totally done that. So, okay, well that makes sense why I was so tilted and running around all over the place, and also why people were finishing like an hour ahead of me.
Right.
Like, I'm running all over the place. Where is it? Where am I doing?
But you did let us see where a lot of the bosses were. On the plus side,
well, I'm glad to be of service.
You got to see the bright side, right?
Yeah, the that Mount Ordeals. I mean, Bahamut, Wyvern, and Odin just bam, bam, bam at that level was a little bit of an eye opener for me.
Yeah, and you had Valvolus and the Baron Inn. There was a couple tough fights for Edward Emporium to try to face at the beginning of the game.
Well, I mean, hats off to everyone else. I mean, now I know what I did wrong, and it'll be interesting for me to see kind of that early game to see where I could have picked up some time, because I'm still, I've only been doing this for about a month, so it'll be really interesting for me to see kind of the little nuances that I'm not quite doing right. I felt like I was kind of right in there in my practice seats earlier, but Antlion, that makes sense.
Yeah, I think had you have gone back there, you would have put up a very good time. It's just that one little forget that one thing, and that can throw you off.
Hey, it happens, so
Absolutely.
Live and learn.
Any other thoughts that you had on the seed?
I am going to go replace my hard drive so that I can burn this seed and never look at it again. Ed and Porum are just
Well, Shalasia, our tracker, was rooting for Edward and Tella, so, I mean, but yeah, you're right, that was only slightly better.
Well, I mean, it was good because I hadn't really used Edward early game, so I got to lean on him a little bit with that early bow that we got, so it was interesting. Live and learn, and I will be better for the next time, I swear.
Hey, no problem. It was it was a fun race. We appreciate you joining us this evening, and best of luck to you in the upcoming weeks ahead.
Thanks for putting yourself out there and letting us share your stream here.
Hey, anytime, guys. And thank you guys for commentating, and the tracker for everything, and the restreamer. All you guys do so much work. I know firsthand, so thank you guys so much.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. Take care.
Take care, Vitasia.
So we are now coming toward close to the end, I think, of the Zeromus bout for Crimson Avix here.
Yeah, Rydia taking a little nap here, but the battle rages on.
Yeah, just and while this interview is going on, Dragus finished in 21st place, 158.19. And there it is, coming toward the last stretch here with that Meteor sighting.
Meteor in the story is the most devastating spell, but when you're fighting against the final boss, you see that Meteor, and it's the most happy thing that you can think of.
Yep, exactly. Pretty much can throw down a nuke here.
Yeah, that usually is enough to finish it at the end.
Or a white spell, or one of those two.
Dart an Excalibur or a spoon, that'll do it too.
And there we go. Another Meteo, and that should do it. Oh, nope, one more.
There's our
we
flash.
go. Crimson finishes 22nd place, 2 hours, 3 minutes, 57 seconds.
GG to Crimson Avex.
And that, I believe, will do it for tonight's stream. Any final thoughts, Rex?
I think this was a really fun seed. We got to see a lot of different grinding strategies. Some paid off better than others, but I think overall it was a very good race. And I think I certainly had fun. I hope you did, and I hope our viewers did as well.
Oh yeah, definitely a lot of fun. There's our schedule that's showing on stream now. We have a pretty exciting Super Mario Land 2 Randomizer League match coming up tomorrow afternoon. That two of the finest runners in that randomizer. And then we have the doubleheader Final Fantasy Randomizer tournament we talked about earlier in our broadcast.
Yeah, with Silverfire, who was featured here earlier tonight.
And now the question is, who are we hosting? We could... Oh, I'm going to ask a question.
But yeah, make sure to follow Randomania for all these great races. As you can see, multiple races almost every day, I'd say.
Yeah, and we also have Randomania 2, 3, and 4 as well, so you definitely can follow those as well. So we will go ahead and wrap it up. I'm not quite sure who will host, but I'm sure it will be somebody really cool, and that'll be all for now. So for Rex, Rawl, and all of our and Shalasia, Noristra, and all of our restreamed runners, I am Gameboy F9. Thank you all very much for watching. It's been a real pleasure. You're watching Randomania. Good night.